So, can you hear us now?
Did you catch that insanely racist joke at the first 5 seconds? Because I can repeat it. Okay, so 2 Jews, right?
So, this is day 57 of trying to be more popular than ass and titties.
And that uphill climb just keeps getting more uphill.
It continues. It's like a Sisyphus, something to that extent. Might as well be.
Yeah, well, we're going to be rolling up that hill.
Yep. And speaking of rolling up hills, what do we got for tonight?
Oh, let's start with something a little spicy. Can we start off a little hot right now?
Yeah, of course.
All right, for everybody in the audience, I don't know if you've been under a rock. I know I have. Apparently, LA is very combustible.
Yeah, as it should be.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been trying to get rid of it for years, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a hot place. It's a dry place. You put those together.
Vegas is a hot place. It's in the middle of Bufu Desert.
Yeah, but, so is Dubai.
Yeah, which actually, they've come up with the idea of like this 1,000-foot long town, which is fucking nuts, man. You gotta check it out.
So I'm hoping tonight's the night where our local viewer fan base can somehow finally cross over with our international fan base. Because it seems like we either get the Canadians in the chat,
which love them,
or we get the locals. And we've never had an episode where both were present.
Now, see, that would be very interesting, because the last time we dived into some Canada issues, it got a little spicy.
Yeah, like, where are our Canadians? We've had 4 Canadians now.
You kooky Canucks.
So, if you're out there, come on in. Mingle with some of the locals.
The door's wide open.
Yeah. So, speaking of the LA fires, a couple things that are suspicious in the conspiratorial realm. First is LA is a very wealthy place. I mean, maybe not the locals, but the elites.
Yeah, minus all the homeless people.
It's a lot of money over there.
Yeah.
Dubai successfully flooded their own city last year with cloud seeding. Now, cloud seeding is where, you put the crystals in the air and it causes clouds and rain comes down. I mean, they flooded the city in the desert.
That's magic right there. So they got Harry Potter's up in that piece.
It's a real thing. You can look it up, cloud seeding. And I'm going, if Dubai can flood their own city, what stopped LA from flooding itself to put these fires out?
Well, what you don't understand, though, bro, is like the effects that it have on the environment. Imagine wet homeless people cleaning all the shit off the street. Get rid of the LA charm, why don't you?
And then the second thing is Governor Gavin Newsom, in an interview recently, was already just giddy with glee talking about the new plans they have and the new designs they have for LA. Like, they've already got them designed.
See that? I taste that on the wind. It tastes like fucking Nero.
Yeah. And do you know how much the average rent in the LA area is up since the fires?
It's got to be like 10 grand.
It's up over 120% on average.
So about 10 grand.
So when people are most in need of security and shelter,
bump it up. Bump it up.
It's called the free market.
It's called putting a stranglehold on the poor.
And in the free market, all is fair, like in Love and War. Because the free market is a more civilized form of literal warfare.
Tell that to Toys R Us, Best Buy, Party City, Huddle House. God, name a fucking place. They're pretty much all closed. GameStop. Yeah. You think that the free market was fair to GameStop?
Yeah.
They had to turn to tricking children.
And I've made this point before, but I always, to those people in the inner cities who are like, our rent's up 100%. We already can't afford groceries. I'm like, have you ever considered just moving out of the city? Have you ever just thought about it?
Whoa. You can take the man out of the city, but you can't take the city out of the man.
And people will hit you with something like, but all the opportunities in the city, all the people, all the progress. So I'm like, you can go fuck a chicken 100 miles out of the city, and you're saying that's not an option? Like, that's not something that's happening?
I mean, there's dinner, and then extra protein for it. You can feed your whole family. Yeah. Potentially.
You can do anything outside of the city that you can do in the city. Except, I mean, what is a city but a rural area further progressed?
I believe it's called the ghetto now. You know, the parts that we didn't gentrify. Though.
Yeah.
Which I always love, like driving through big cities, and you can tell where it's been whitewashed as fuck. It goes like Whole Grains, Planet Fitness, vegan pizza, liquor store.
So I don't know how much you follow the conspiracy theories and whatnot, but there's like a group of individuals who are like the top of the list for like the Pizzagate thing, Epstein Island. There's like a few celebrities and politicians that like always hit in terms of the conspiracy.
Yeah, like Hillary Clinton and shit like that. Yeah.
Hillary, Ellen DeGeneres.
I don't know. She might be an Ellen DeGenerate.
Obama, Oprah.
All the O's.
And the fifth one, well, there's probably more than five, but off the top, the fifth one is Tom Hanks.
No fucking way, Tom Hanks.
Oh, he's up there. I mean, in terms of people who think he's one of like the super elites, he's one of them. Like, he's considered one of them.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he did warm the hearts of American children everywhere. So,
and I don't know if this is a true picture or a true statement that I saw, but I saw somewhere online where the fire actually stopped, like in the Hidden Hills or like the wealthiest area.
Yeah,
and it literally stopped. They're saying at Tom Hanks's house, like there's a literal line of destruction, and then Tom Hanks's home completely untouched. And everything from the other side of it.
Okay, so I've got two theories on this. Two theories. These are the only two possible answers. Either A, his insurance company didn't want to pay out that fucking bad, but they just sent a SEAL Team 6 of water slingers.
Hey, if anyone's got the resources to save the day, it would be the insurance companies.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They have more money than the government, if I had to guess.
Yeah, dude, and I'm not going to lie, they do not want to pay out. You could have them dead to rights, and they'd be like, all right, but we'll still go to court.
Yeah. You know how you get an insurance company to pay out? You help them avoid paying something else out.
Ooh.
It's like a bounty.
I mean, you only owe me $40,000, but you owe him $180,000.
Imagine if they started a bounty program.
Oh my!
It's like, oh, you want your health insurance to be covered, your chemo to be covered. Well, if you can find a family and find a way for us to cancel on them.
Now you're thinking big capital.
Now we can cover you.
I mean, if it's only going to cost $250, then
yeah,
I could actually see the guys like twirling their mustaches while talking about it.
Yeah, like the guy who's like he's been insured since he was like 30, gets cancer in his 60s. You go find a photo of him smoking in his 30s and knowing he checked the non-smoker box.
Yeah, his only cigarette and never touched him again.
And then they're
Dude,
like,
I think we just made a movie.
It's like a bounty hunter for an insurance company.
Yeah, think about it, dude. Now
the denier.
Oh my god.
He's a supervillain.
Well, anti-hero.
Yeah, well, how's he a hero?
Well, at the end of it, we'll have him shoot a CEO. Everybody will love it.
That's true. They would kill their own, for sure.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
These insurance companies would kill their own.
It's kind of like having one bee that gets infected by like a hornet. Now the rest of the bees are jumping that bee.
Yeah. See, LA, it's about to be redesigned. They're calling it a smart city, I've heard.
Right up there with their anti-homeless furniture all over the place. Which, at this point... Well, yeah, it's called like aggressive architecture.
Damn it. Our multi-stream is glitched.
Oh no, we're only one streaming?
No, we're streaming. We're just the chat is only showing on YouTube.
Oh, sadness.
Much sad.
Out to our Twitchers.
Yep. All two of y'all. BB, Alexis, and Anna Senpai.
Hey, Anna Senpai.
But yeah.
But
good old LA.
But did I tell you the second theory on the LA fires?
Oh no, I'm interested.
Now, allegedly, when arrested, this is going to be a reoccurring topic that we've touched on a couple of times, but what do you think they did with all the baby oil? Do you think they just like slathered up the streets, or do you think it was just like some foreman out there and he just flicks a wrong cigarette in the wrong direction?
You know, I'm curious, is baby oil flammable?
Well, I know that jet fuel isn't. It cannot melt steel beams.
True. So explain that, chat. Explain that.
It's impossible.
If jet fuel can't melt steel beams, then how did the building collapse? How?
Yeah, it's not 300 tons of fucking metal.
I just need someone to explain it.
Well, what's funny to me is like that wasn't even the first attempt.
Speaking of planes and whatnot,
Oh,
you know, like the past few weeks, a lot of planes crashed. Like over the past month, like 4 planes have went down.
see, this is why I only take Greyhound. It might be worse across the board.
Yeah. Like 4 planes that went down. One of those planes, Russia shot it down accidentally. And Putin actually came out and apologized. He did. He actually, like a man at least, he goes, "Yep, we take credit for this."
That's the only fucking plane they could hit. You know, the guys were like high-fiving and shit when it happened. We got one of the Americans. One of the Ukrainians just did it.
It was like some Iranian plane.
Oh my god, that was like the only person on their fucking team.
Yeah. Well, it was a commercial plane, a commercial airliner. It just flew too close to their airspace, and they didn't like radio in time. And next thing you know, they started getting gunned down.
Because that's your first response to everything from a bumblebee to...
Or when you're a country at war and something's in the sky and you don't know what it is.
Big metal bird.
You just start shooting. So yeah.
Man, I can't fucking believe that. But on the lighter side...
Was it all to cover up Diddy? Was it all to cover up the Diddy story?
Or did Diddy just supply the fuel to burn down LA?
Maybe Diddy burned down LA.
Oh my god, I could just imagine
he's
him
calling the shots from prison.
Oh my god, he's walking around with Joker paint on his face.
We thought Epstein was a threat, but Diddy, he's a super threat.
See, what I find funny is like he died like 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah, no, much longer.
Yeah, so where the fuck's this list? I can't imagine that it's like 8,000 pages long.
Yeah, the real list we'll never get.
I feel like they'll throw a couple of people under the bus, but after that it's going to be like, well, I mean, they can just write down any name.
Yeah. So, there was one topic to bring up tonight that really intrigued me. I forget what it was, but
Oh, illegal things?
That's one, yes.
In America, we've got so much freedom, we can do some truly fucked up shit, guys.
So that's not the one that I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about this. But yeah, what about American freedom is too much? Do we have too much freedom? I mean, I say we don't.
Well, let me set the scene for you, okay? So, I'm sitting there on my couch in my underwear watching YouTube.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Now, oh, yeah.
The American pastime.
Oh, yeah. Scratching my belly button from time to time to, move the fluff around.
Mm-hmm.
Regardlessly. So, I gets to watching, the shorts because TikTok and YouTube shorts are damn near synonymous.
Yep.
Synonymous means the same. Little lesson with the furman. Anyway, so I come across a story in North Carolina. A 9-year-old little girl wanted to get Trump written across her neck.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now, tattoo artist goes, what? I can't believe that. What jimmery pokery is this? Nope, parents come in. Nah, it's real, dude. Are you sure you want Trump? Yeah. Just the name. No, the face. The D-man right here on your neck for the rest of your life. He goes, are you positive? It's going to cost $500. And they went, bet. Send it.
So a 9-year-old got a Trump tattoo on her neck.
Nope. Actually, the tattoo artist was able to swiftly make a change for the middle ground.
What did she get instead?
The greatest flag of all time.
The American flag.
The American flag.
Okay. That's a little better. A little less regrettable.
On her neck as a 9-year-old.
Well, it's the natural evolution of American society, right?
That is just a poor downward spiral that we're watching right now.
We're on a downward spiral, but is it not the natural evolution?
I guess, but I thought that we all agreed as a country that thoughterry should only stay at 18 and above.
Hey, okay, crossover event is taking place.
Yo!
Adley Studios has entered the chat. For the first time, we've got some of our Canadians and some of our locals in the chat together.
Hot dog.
Mingle, say hello. I told you guys, we're international now.
Almost. I think we had one Korean guy watch us one time.
So Trudeau stepped down. How you guys feeling about that?
No way that it's great after him putting all those tariffs on and then being like, bye. Oh, what? The Americans are going to need to talk to your prime minister?
His one regret was that he couldn't be y'all's first female prime minister.
Well, I thought he was God King Emperor of Canada.
Yeah, that's true. He is still technically in office, but he's put in his resignation, so to speak.
Which, by the way, that's a weird thing that they can quit. I thought they had like term limits.
I'm pretty sure anybody can quit. I mean, you can always quit.
I would have just loved halfway through the Joe Biden administration for him to be like, "Fuck it, guys. No, I'm done."
I take issue with the statement, "You can't do this" or "You have to do this," because there's always another option. As a human being, you could always die.
I mean, not on the government's dime. They don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like that.
You can fake it though, which is oddly legal in the United States. So if you ever want to try faking your own death,
yeah, unless it negatively impacts shareholder value, in which case you will be put to trial and sentenced to death.
You will need to go ahead and pay the $18,000 that it takes to bury a motherfucker in the dirt.
What the hell?
Which I think is just the absolute most silly thing. Throw me in a cardboard box and call it a night. But
yeah, like, you have to do this. I'm like, well, I mean, technically I don't even have to breathe, sir. Technically I could end my last breath right now, and that would be that.
Just spite them in the tax office. Just, what are you doing? Fuck you, man.
I'm exercising my right to suffocate.
So he just came in, started choking himself. He's fucking dead, man.
Hey, life, liberty, and the pursuit of death.
Actually, that's kind of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
It's always an option.
Well, it's a lot better than, stay alive, get fucked.
So this girl's walking around with an American flag neck tattoo at 9 years old.
Yep.
I got to look this story up. I do have my doubts this is true, but I've never known you to deceive me.
Mm-mm.
I've never known you to fall for clickbait either.
Nah, I do some deep research. I get all the way elbow deep in that research.
Yeah. I think we're maybe about to do a reversal, but I do worry that as time progresses, like, kids are just going to become extinct. Like, in the future, there's going to be like a 5-year-old, and that's a kid, but then 6 and above, you're talking like neck tattoos,
smoking,
drink.
Well, everything got better when we lowered the drinking age to 5.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, that would be a great way to screen your kids before they get too old.
Well, I think keeping kids innocent and pure for a limited amount of time is very good. It's healthy.
Oh yeah.
But society seems hell-bent on making sure that ends as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, overstimulation. That's what they're aiming for. We're going to have our 5-year-olds be smarter than we are. Because I don't know if you've tried to do 5th grade math lately. No, it's fucking impossible. They're putting symbols in there now, like triangle, fucking quadrangle.
Speaking of overstimulation, I want to talk about that. And
actually, we got a few lighten up the bars.
So we got somebody asking, how's the channel growth going? It's been pretty flat ever since the cricket event. That kind of gave us some exponential growth, and then we kind of hit a flat point. We're currently working on some things we're going to do to grow more. We haven't really dove into that next big thing. TikTok, for instance, is a place where we're going to be streaming, but on Sunday we'll see how that goes. The future of TikTok's somewhat in jeopardy. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's on the same level as the hub. It's in danger.
Yeah. But speaking of overstimulation, what do you think about that?
I think that it's more prevalent now than in any time in our history.
Yeah.
Like, as an Egyptian guy, what's the most interesting thing you get to see? Paintings and like a live execution. That's it, tops.
Yeah.
Rest of your life, wake up, sun go up, sun go down.
Mm-hmm.
Kill a cow, eat a cow. You're done.
Yeah.
Maybe a plague if you're lucky.
Right.
Well, ish.
Yeah.
Medieval times. What do you get to see? A couple of wars. your family dies, and then you get to eat some bread for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, and it's real quiet after everybody dies.
Yeah, I mean, like, if mom and dad aren't drinking, so, you know, it's a mixed bag, really.
Yeah.
Though the chance of dysentery being like 1 in 5 every time you eat.
Yeah. So we're kind of in I guess anyone could say this. I don't want to sound like a cop out, but we're kind of in a unique position in terms of the timeline we grew up in. We got right at the beginning of the real tech era.
Yeah, the real start of the internet.
We kind of got to see it from start to finish.
Which kind of makes me nostalgic for times where people used to wipe my ass and cut my hot dogs.
Yep. And I want to talk about Musk for a bit tonight also, because something came up.
Oh, what's Musky Boys doing?
But speaking, before we get off overstimulation, here's my thought on it. I was talking to somebody about this other day. I'm unsure what the future is going to look like, but I'm a big believer in exposure therapy. And so, like, for instance, a deeply Christian household may say you should never be exposed to nudity or adult content, things
Devil
like
shit.
that. Yeah. Staying away is the best method. But when you go out in society and you see it, you're kind of ill-equipped to deal with it.
Yeah, because at first it's both horrifying and exciting.
Right. And I think some exposure, in my opinion, is the best way to handle something in a balanced manner. No exposure, I think, leads to, it's too, you don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to react.
We've all had that abstinent friend get a girlfriend for the first time in his whole life, and he goes nuts. Right. We've all been there. We've all seen it happen.
And so, speaking of overstimulation, when we were young, there came a point where, I don't know if you remember the story, when SpongeBob got deemed the brain killer. Like, SpongeBob was
turning kids gay.
Well, it was an attention span thing. There was a study that came out that said if you watch SpongeBob, it reduces your attention span by like X amount.
I thought that was like the YouTube videos that last for 1 second doing that.
Well, that was before. Those weren't around. You see what I'm saying?
The good old days.
Yeah.
Oh, remember when you had to rewind a VCR?
And so SpongeBob was like, it got labeled this terrible program that was making kids brain dead and couldn't pay attention. And I love SpongeBob, and I did good in school, and I didn't seem to have an issue with it. But growing up, and being an adult now, and you go back and you watch SpongeBob, it is a slow-paced show. It's a slow-paced cartoon compared to entertainment today.
Oh, yeah, dude. If a TikTok video goes longer than 30 seconds, the chance that it gets picked up, almost non-existent.
So what I'm saying is, we grew up in an era where SpongeBob was considered
the brain killer.
Transitioned into an era where things are like SpongeBob on steroids. They were citing like how fast the scene changes and how many clips there were, and this was having some impact on people's ability to pay attention. But I'm saying, when it comes to overexposure and kids and whatnot, I wonder if it's not going to better equip them for the future, because I don't think overstimulation is going to go down. And when I'm growing up and we look at older people and we're like, why can't you guys like
just get on our page?
Yeah, why can't you just like focus on like multiple things at once? Like, why are you guys so dull and so dense?
Yeah, that's because they had to look after 2 cows and their land, and that was it.
But now I've even hit a point where I'm on TikTok or I'm on YouTube, I'm online, where it'll literally feel like my brain is slowly getting ready to explode from all the information overload.
Yeah, and see,
the content.
Well, see, that is where my plan for the next generation should come into play. The second you're born, you're injected with ketamine and DMT.
And you're put in front of 20 screens.
Boom. Think about it. So much knowledge.
Yeah, now I'm not saying that's good, but what I am saying is humans are very adaptable, and I think there might be a chance that the kid who's a little bit overexposed might develop a brain that's better suited for the overstimulation world, the overly stimulated world.
Okay, now
because he grew up with it.
Yeah, and I mean, you might be right. We might end up with a Neo. However, there's something controversial that I'd like to poke your way.
Yeah.
What if autism is the response to overstimulation?
It could be.
In like human genome.
Yeah.
Like they're like, we need one guy laser fucking focused on like trains and shit. Done.
Yeah.
He's never gonna go touch a crack pipe, but like this guy, he's all about that caboose.
Now for the chat, I'm not saying in any way I think that a lot of screen time is good for kids. I think overall it's terrible, and kids should definitely spend most of their time in the real world doing real things and not being on a screen. But I am saying I think there's a niche category of kids who might come from the overstimulated world who become incredibly skilled in that way. Like they're incredibly skilled at multitasking, incredibly skilled at juggling multiple forms of input and content.
Yeah, and that could be, a good thing or a bad thing, because look at the tech bros that came out in Silicon Valley.
They're all weird.
Yeah, they're super fucking weird. Like, I still believe that Mark Zuckerberg's like 1% lizard. Like, there's just a little bit of me hoping that we didn't make that.
Hey, we're up to 9 viewers. Thanks. 11. Woo! Thanks for tuning in, guys. Leave us a chat. Leave us a comment or something. Let us know what's going on. We'll get to you.
But we do have a whole bunch of comments in there. So
I'm responding to them.
Oh, tits.
But yeah, it's a very overstimulated world, and I feel like I'm aging past it. Like things are moving so quick. I'm getting out of the prime.
Yeah, you're kind of like, this is the point where they came out with satellite TV when our parents were 40.
Exactly.
It's like, wow, I've got 1,000,001 channels. Don't know how to use a fucking remote, but
Yeah, well, like, Chat GPT, for instance, is what I use to look up everything now. Like, over Google, I use Chat GPT.
Oh, it's basically the same thing.
Kids today are going to grow up having these chat bots exclusively. Like, and they're going to be like, Dad, you lived in a time where you couldn't just use Chat GPT?
What's a book, Father? I heard of something. It's called a library. And they used to be there all the time.
Yeah, it'll become a foreign concept.
Seriously, if you hand a kid a thesaurus today, they will throw it at you before they fucking open it. I promise you that.
You're not wrong. And so, like, if you get the kind of brain that is very attached, like, likes routine, likes to be attached to things, I feel like you're in for a world of pain as we progress, because things are getting very fast.
Oh, they're getting out of hand. I mean, just with AI alone. Like, they've got them able to be the writer, director, screenplay, the guy that holds the boom mic at this point. Like, the tech drops that's come out of China.
Yeah.
We're out of jobs.
Yep.
Like, the next big thing I foresee is, like, doctors that are computers, which are going to give out a lot of cancer diagnoses if WebMD is anything to go by.
So, speaking of Elon Musk, we got somebody in the chat was saying there's talks about maybe him buying TikTok.
Oh my fucking god!
If Musk buys TikTok, he will be extremely powerful. Like, he's already powerful, but if he's got Twitter and TikTok,
you might as well buy Google and fucking YouTube while you're at it.
He's just going to become Emperor Supreme, which, that's the topic I want to bring up, is very concerning to me, because I used to be a pretty huge fan of Elon, up there with Trump for me. I mean, Trump was above, but I really liked Elon. I don't think we talked about this last episode, but something came out with Elon that has deeply shaken my faith in him.
Is it that his rockets don't have jet fuel?
Well, there's two things. One, I was willing to, go, okay, maybe this is a fluke. People make mistakes. That's okay. But the second thing is so damning to me, and it sounds kind of nuanced, but I'll explain it. The first one was the H-1B visas, which is basically a program that lets skilled labor get into America to work quicker. A lot of patriots were like, we don't want the H-1B because we want to keep the jobs here. And we don't want people from other countries coming in and taking higher, paying jobs. And he's going, well, America's a meritocracy. We should allow all talented labor, yada, yada. But he went on to, like, censor accounts that were against the issue on the platform, despite him being the most free speech guy. Now, I did talk about this last episode, and that concerned me a lot. People who go, is that real? I think it's real. I looked into it. There seems to be a lot of proof he did do that. But the second thing, and this one is damning, like beyond belief to me, is for a while now he's been known as one of the top gamers in Diablo 4, like in the world.
Well, yeah, when you can pay to play.
Yeah, so he's had one of the top Diablo accounts. No issue there. I've seen some of his streams. He's clearly a good gamer. Yada yada. Nothing seems suspicious. Recently, however,
they caught him smoking weed again?
No.
Oh.
There's another game. It's a similar type of game called Path of Exile.
I've actually started that.
Yeah, it's a Diablo type game.
It's mid, and it's not great. It's not terrible.
Yeah. But he also happened to make it to the top of the global leaderboard in that game.
The guy that has $20 billion right next to his left nutsack is at the top of the leaderboard. I'm shocked.
Yeah. And here's my issue with it. Every sense of what he presented it as is this is his account. He got this far. This is him doing all of this. And when he came out and did the stream, the people who actually play this game, who are dedicated to this game, gave the most ironclad case I've ever seen put together that he does not know how to play this game. He has never, maybe even never played the game before. This is not his account. He doesn't actually play this game. Somebody is playing on his behalf, and they've allowed him to commandeer the account for his stream. And he screwed it up so royally that was insane.
Did he go nuh-uh?
Things like not knowing places on the map weren't clickable. Like they were grayed out, and he kept clicking, wondering why he couldn't go. Things like not picking up the rarest item in the game after killing a mob and then just glancing over it and walking away. Things like one-clicking, dragging his inventory versus using like an auto pickup system.
Yeah, just...
It was just an ironclad case that he is manipulating people with this game and this account.
Yeah, and I can tell you what this is all about. This is the equivalent of having all the adults back in the 90s do this. Yo, word up.
Yeah.
Talk to me, my friend. Coolio badass.
Well, what scares me the most about it is the motives. That's what's scary.
He's trying to get in touch with the youths.
Maybe, but he's already a known gamer, and he already has that on his like credentials. Gamers like Elon usually, but I'm just looking at it like, okay, you're worth $400 billion. You have $4 billion companies. You've got over 10 kids. All the male accolades anyone could want, like any ego boost you would want, other than maybe like being in incredible shape, Elon has.
Yeah. I mean, after those hair plugs, his ego just skyrocketed.
Yeah. And he still chose to pretend to be a top level player in a game.
Which I feel like people would respect him more if he was like at the middle. You know?
It scares me that maybe his ego is really fragile enough that that's important to him. Because I can't fathom being on his level and caring about being at the top of a leaderboard in a video game. I can't even fathom it.
Mr. Musk, you tried to cancel Twitter and TikTok. Is there something wrong? My guild kicked me out, man. You're still worth $400 billion. Yeah, but those guys said I was a noob and I was a goon lord supreme.
You put us on Mars. You've established the first Mars colony. Why can't you just admit you never played this game? Because I'm a gamer and the best.
I could just see one of the secretaries leaning in. Really? Really? This is the hill we die on? This is the fucking hill we die on.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. It's crazy to me. So that happened. He's been proven to have not played this game or to not know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, but throw a rock at YouTube and you'd catch like 40 people square in the head that were faking it.
Oh, yeah. But a lot of people are fake.
Oh, yeah.
And I just didn't think Elon was. I did not think Elon was fake.
Yeah, which, I mean, I didn't want to believe it. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool when he started smoking on Joe Rogan and he was like, fuck, I'm going to do what I want. I've got fuck you money.
Yeah.
Seriously, if Elon Musk went out every single night, dined at a 5-star restaurant with personal chefs clearing out the top level,
yeah,
he'd never even scratch.
Yeah.
like the 2% mark. If he did it for the rest of his life, the interest alone.
So we got somebody going, he likes to win, clearly. And I want to say I get that a lot. Like, I relate to that. But it's one thing to like to win, and then it's another thing to unnecessarily engage in something that you don't have to engage in and then pretend you're a winner at that also. So, like, I believe in something called, like, an ecosystem of winning, which is, if you win in one area, you're more likely to win in another. And, you know, they say, you know, fortune favors the bold. Whatever. Or if you're unlucky, you're going to keep being unlucky. If you're lucky, you keep being lucky. There's momentum.
Yeah. I mean, one good decision leads to another, typically.
And so if I'm really good at something and I go play poker and lose, that's very serious to me, because I'm like, well, if I lost at poker, that might negatively impact
the rest of the
rest
chain.
of my ecosystem of winning. So if he's like that, I understand. But it's one thing to win across the board. Your whole ecosystem of life is winning. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to go chop wood and videotape it. And then you get your axe stuck in the block and you're weak as fuck and everyone's laughing at you. So you edit the video to show the wood splitting when it never split.
Yeah, you do like an extreme close-up. Completely wrong set of pants and shit.
What's that movie? The Bourne movie, or it's like 30 cuts.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you do one of those clips, it's like 30 cuts of the wood splitting just to, like, what? Save a little bit of ego, like a little bit of, I don't get it.
No, I mean, like, in reality, about 5 or 6 logs, he's like, But, like, I'm actually worried about this for a whole different reason. If his ego is that fragile, what do you think's gonna happen when he keeps getting called out? Because, like, he's already
he'll act out.
And with Dr. Evil's kind of fucking money, that's...
So it is concerning. I'm very much, you know, looking forward to the future, seeing what he can do with, you know, Doge and Trump. But it's just, it's a real blemish on his reputation to me, on a level I think most people wouldn't expect. Like, it really sunk him for me.
Well, see, like, I'm still waiting for the big shit to hit. Like, oh yeah, Epstein's Island, that's nothing. That's nothing. Here's an island where he just takes convicted convicts and he just shoots them. Doesn't even let them loose in the forest. He just brings them in, pow, pow, pow. I've got them all. I am the ultimate killer.
That's Elon.
Oh yeah, he just grows a mustache while he's saying it. Yeah.
I could see that.
Fucking Jeff Bezos sitting over there on a smaller island. Man, this is bullshit.
So we got somebody going, why does Bannon have such a hate on for him? Probably, I think they mean hard on. Why does Bannon, you know?
What's Bannon?
I think they're referring to Steve Bannon.
Who the fuck is Steve Bannon?
He's somebody in the Trump cabinet for a long time.
Either
that or they're referring to Barron, like Trump's son Barron.
Like, you're the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He is getting increasingly more powerful. The most power, the thing he has, I think, that stands to have the most power is Starlink. Starlink is becoming so popular so fast.
Isn't that the brain chip?
No, that's Neuralink. Starlink is an internet service provider. It's easily the best rural service provider. You know, used to have HughesNet.
Oh yeah,
which sucked. It was like,
might as well just went outside, threw a pigeon, and hope they got your message.
And so Starlink is like internet that's coming everywhere to everybody. And Elon's like, he's going to be like the world's internet provider. At the trajectory Starlink is on,
that is so fucking
Elon
stupid,
is going to become the largest internet provider in the world.
Yeah, but that's so dumb.
Why?
Because have you never seen Kingsman?
Yeah, I have.
The phone! The fucking phone! We're building it right now!
Yeah.
The fucking access to everyone's information.
Yeah.
Why? Can we just go ahead and skip this, go straight to Skynet? Come on.
Well, that could become a part of a Starlink.
I want...
Instead of Skynet, it's a Starnet.
I want 1,000 naked Arnold Schwarzeneggers on the streets of LA by the end of the month. Get on it, Elon.
Yeah, so we got a comment. Starlink is amazing. We have it on our acreage. And I happen to know another one of our commenters, Ela, has it as well.
Oh.
So that's what it's becoming, and I'm not saying it's a bad product. It's a great product. It's so good everyone wants it. Who doesn't have access to like cable or fiber optic.
Yeah, so do people that, like cocaine. I mean, technically speaking, it's a good product,
but
everyone wants it.
It's a real possibility that over the next 5 years, Starlink might become the world's largest internet provider. So Elon will have the largest internet company,
both of them, because if
social media company.
He's gonna buy TikTok, and it's already got a Temu shop mixed in there. So let's fuck over eBay while we're going out.
He's really racking it up.
The only reason that Amazon's going to be able to compare is because they're going to have next day shipping.
Well, he's buying that too.
Oh, it wouldn't fucking surprise me. What? Is the moon out of fucking stock?
Yeah, he's buying the rights to next day shipping.
Oh my god.
Okay, another commenter just said, no shit, we have it too. Referencing Starlink. And
am I the only man on the spectrum anymore?
And I'm going to be, when we set up our next studio, because in the next couple months, we're going to be doing some rearranging. We got a new studio coming. That's going to be on Starlink.
Hey, I mean, y'all do y'all. I'll keep on the AOL for the rest of us. I'll be downloading a movie that'll take 87 hours.
So, you still got AOL?
Oh, yeah. Just been using every one of those CDs for the last 10 years.
You like that sound on boot up?
Sounds like robots going at it, man.
Yeah. So,
but I'm genuinely worried, because if he becomes the only internet provider, across the world,
yeah,
that means that he has access to everyone's information at all times. Big Brother just got a beefcake glow up.
It did, exactly.
It's free internet. You won't have any privacy. We're also going to give you a phone with 14 cameras on it. Yeah. Here's a chip that lets you go ahead and play video games. We're going to give it to a guy that can't use his legs.
Well, that's what original American principles were so good, because they delineated all that power, right? But we've kind of made ourselves a bureaucracy, and now we're looking for a savior in Trump and Elon. Since we're so bureaucratic, we're like, okay, these two guys can come and kind of maybe cut that shit. But then if they end up with this, or Elon ends up with so much power as an individual, I mean, he's gonna die, and then who's getting the reins to that?
I think his kid XJ79BB21A triangle.
Yeah. All I'm saying is,
that sounds like a Mad King situation right there. Hey, here's an entire country. Toodles.
You don't have internet anymore.
No. Oh, what's that? You didn't like my post?
How about you don't like any post ever again?
Oh, what's that? Oh, you're going to go ahead and report me about blocking people? Let's see. Where is your state? Let's just carpet bomb all of that.
Yeah.
So that was a fire.
Not that I think Elon would necessarily do these things. I'm just going, it's becoming more concerning.
I think that it's going to be interesting, because if he dies mysteriously, like some fucking third age king, oh yeah, he was freebasing Mercury, trying to live forever.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Hey, it happens. The future. Into the future.
I want to go back to the past, the future.
Speaking of the future, cryptocurrency. For those in the chat, let me hear your top cryptos going into 2025. As a crypto savant myself, I'm always interested in the opinions of others.
Oh, is GameStop stonk going up? Or?
No, GameStonk isn't going up.
Aw, well, there goes my house.
Yeah, they pretty much put a stop on GameStonk forever.
That's because GameStop went crying so bad to Big Daddy government.
Now, if GameStop goes up just 10% in a day, they close the market. They're shut it down.
They're fucking with us again, boys. Nobody wants this shit. Dude, that's got to be a front for drugs and shit, like Captain D's.
Yeah.
Like, I've never once went into a Long John Silver's and heard somebody say, "Thank God Long John Silver's was open."
Yeah. You know, something I wish people could experience. It could be like a reality TV show to an extent. I'm telling you, some of the most interesting rooms in human history to be in would be a board meeting in a company where something insane happens. So imagine you're a GameStop board member. You come in and your stock is up 4,000% for no reason. You just come into work, talk with the chief executive officer, chief financial officer. Well, guys, we're now worth 4,000% more than we were yesterday.
Are you still smoking crack, Jerry? What the fuck are you on about?
And they're like, what's going on? Are we valuable?
People love having pennies given to them for their PS5s.
No, some really decrepit edgers and gooners decided to pump your stock for blood sport, just for shits and giggles.
But that won't affect us, right? That won't affect us, right?
And they're gonna dump it into oblivion tomorrow.
Oh, cool. You know, my kids didn't need to go to college anyway.
But I bring that story up to kind of piggyback onto another, which I've talked about before. I want an excuse to talk about it again.
Oh.
There's some chain of hotels, I want to say it's Hilton. You guys can look this story up, where a Hilton employee snuck into a man's room and sucked his toes while he was sleeping. And the employee, or the customer, woke up to his toes being sucked in the middle of the night.
But isn't that the American dream?
And, well, yeah, it can be.
Well, I mean, if I woke up and someone was sucking my toes.
Well, it's part, maybe even if you want your toes sucked, okay, but to wake up to it is a very scary thing, especially if you're sleeping alone.
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna. I'm genuinely curious if this was a male on male occurrence, or was this like a female on a male occurrence? Because if a woman broke in and started sucking my toes, there'd be so many questions.
Exactly. I want to talk about NVIDIA later also, but yeah, it was a male sucking a male's toes.
See, that's just gross. I mean, it could be romantic if a woman was sucking my toes, but a man's just disgusting.
But, okay, how much would you pay to sit at that executive meeting the next day? Because that's what they have to talk about. That's what they have to talk about. Because it was all over the news. You come in, so guys, one of our staffers, in Raleigh, Michigan.
Oh, what? Did we get another sexual harassment lawsuit? Actually.
Yeah. Well, one of our guys was sucking somebody's toes while he slept. Yes.
I want to say that shows initiative, but I don't think that we're in that age where we can say that anymore.
Yeah.
Could you fucking imagine being the manager downstairs?
Yeah.
Hey, question. Did you guys send me a hooker? No. Okay, so this guy that's sucking my toes, I didn't say stop. Is he gonna be charged to my card? Does that cost extra?
It's one of the amenities, sir. If you look at your room package, it clearly shows 6 spots down. This comes with the room.
Yeah, we have tiny liquor bottles, toe sucking, and a microwave in there that doesn't work. Oh, looks like we got some Twitch back.
Yeah. Okay. So we got some people talking about NVIDIA in the chat.
What's on NVIDIA?
NVIDIA is a graphics card company. They also do like computing, AI, etc. They've been around for a long time. NVIDIA is one of the first stocks I ever bought. I bought NVIDIA all the way back in 2020. Or 2019.
So that's aged like fine wine.
Yes. I sold out at about a 400% return like 2 years ago, I want to say, and it's since doubled that. I'm not upset that I missed out on the gains because I got a good profit, but I've actually bought back in a couple months ago. So NVIDIA is a great stock. They flirted with being the most valuable company in the world a couple times. Well,
Basically-
they've been it, and then they drop below, and then they've been it, and they drop below.
Okay, so it's kind of like Bitcoin. It was up there so high.
But if anybody's like, they're already the most valuable company in the world, how much more upside can there be? I would say there's still plenty of upside, in my opinion. I think they are on their path to being easily the most valuable company in the world by a mile.
Well, until Musk buys TikTok, then
Yeah. Well, Musk is going to buy NVIDIA.
I don't doubt it. I don't fucking doubt it
But
at this point.
When you look at the things they are creating, it is truly insane if you know some of the terminology. So, like the recent conference they had a week or two ago, where they unveiled their new graphics cards, it's genuinely insane the technology they're using. So, admittedly, it's a bit of a caveat because you have to use something called their DLSS system to get the same performance.
Okay, so Microsoft's about to bite the big one.
But okay, they have a card called I want to say it's the RTX or GTX 4090, which is like the industry king of graphics cards. It's like a $1,500 graphics card.
Okay, so how many RAMs does that have?
A lot.
Does it have firewalls too? Because I don't
Yeah.
want water walls anymore.
It's got it all. Speaking of Taiwan, I've been to Taiwan. Could tell you guys about it later.
There's a lot of short people.
There are a lot of short people.
But I mean, comparatively speaking, we're both like 7 foot, so
Well, on the other side of the ice wall, it's very tall people.
yeah, a lot less gravity down
Yeah.
here, being on the bottom of the world.
But so they're putting out a graphics card that is going to match the 4090 at a third of the price. It's going to be $500,
So much gigahertz.
and it's going to match the leading card to date, which is 3 times pricier, and that is the weakest card in the 4 that they announced. You take that, you take what they're doing with the Blackwell chips. If you look up that conference and you see that disc that the CEO is wearing, I cannot pronounce his name, but you see that disc, he's literally came out with something that's like a shield. That's a supercomputer that rivals the world's most powerful supercomputer, and he fit it on his forearm.
How shitty has that got to be the guy that made the strongest computer? Just like looking at this asshole. Yeah, I can do all of that with this.
Yeah.
Man, fuck you.
They are entering into a crazy era of production. Like, yeah. NVIDIA is a highly recommended stock by me.
Well, I'm going to have to jump in on that because right now it looks like I'm going to be losing a lot of money on Microsoft.
Yeah.
Dude, once the PC gaming master race happens, we're going to have internet, but we're going to have like 12 billion different kinds of fucking computers now. So
Jensen Huang.
Ooh.
Probably said it wrong, but yeah, that's who it is. I really like that guy.
Jensen Wang.
No, it's with an H.
Huang.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, powerful people can't have ridiculous names. Like
But-
Anthony Weiner being a mayor was
So-
my limit.
Speaking of Taiwan, I've been to Taiwan, and I can tell you, it's an incredible country. I loved that country, like with a passion. So one of the coolest things, and I don't know if this is just the same with all Asian countries, but everything works. Like everything works. There's no broken urinals. There's no busted traffic lights. There's no potholes in the road. Like everything just worked. Everyone is a hard worker. Like customer service is, everyone's friendly, and everything's like top notch.
Man.
And I went to multiple areas. It wasn't just like Taipei. That's the main city in Taiwan is Taipei.
Okay, I thought it was Bangkok.
That's in Thailand.
Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. I get my ties mixed up all the time.
Thailand is where you go for hookers and stuff.
Okay, so next time I got to go with you to Taiwan, and then I can take a connecting one to Thailand.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he wears leather jackets and even cooler ones because he came out in a crocodile, like an all-black crocodile jacket at his last conference.
Somewhere Native Americans just crying, just weeping.
Yeah. But Taiwan, it's a must go if you've never been.
Now, I've heard a few things about Taiwan. Like, do they have like a really strict government over there? Because I've heard in other cultures, like they get like real into the whole
Yeah, so China's the most strict like Asian government. Taiwan's pretty lax. It's pretty lax.
Didn't they have a guy walk around with a baseball bat said, "Give us your drugs or we'll fucking kill you"?
In Taiwan?
Yeah, I want to
I'm
say
not sure about that.
he was like Taiwanese Buford Pusser, dude.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Which I mean, I like that as a deterrent. Give us your drugs or we'll fucking kill you.
So why can't China buy Nvidia stock?
Aw. That's a good question.
Somebody's saying that. I actually don't know about that.
Well, it might be the same reason why like half of our roads, like in the US anyway, are owned by Chinese people.
Yeah, because a lot of things in America, China has bought. Like we've got Chinese like government buying land in America and things like that.
Yeah, which I mean, technically speaking, I think it'd be very interesting for them to go ahead and take a state like Wyoming and just like do it over. Just see what happens.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, Taiwan is like a super country. It's so damn advanced.
Is it kind of like Bali?
I don't know.
Well, I've heard Bali's like this.
Bali's Indian, right?
Yeah, but it's like it's pristine. Like it is not like the other places.
It is pristine. Beautiful country, clean, everything works.
I mean, like that's kind of what I wish America could do, but we're also jaded from the 24-hour news cycle. It's like, hey man, I'm watching this YouTuber, I really love him. 10 minutes later, he committed fraud for thousands of people at a charity event. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna go watch this Bumble guy.
Well, trust is eroded in American society.
Yeah, which is sucky because we used to be super trusting.
So part of the issue with truth today in the West is we can't really have truth anymore because there's no trust. Like people just don't know what to believe, and the government who goes and goes, why aren't the people listening to us? Why don't the people believe us? I mean, the government hasn't given us a good track record.
No, they just have enter fucking conspiracy theory here. And you know, that one time where they did stuff.
And I'm not saying these things aren't true, but it's allowed things like flat earth theory, chemtrails,
MK Ultra. Sorry, that one was real.
the fog that's like making us all sick. It's allowed all of these things to run rampant in terms of people believing them. And maybe they're all true, but we no longer at a point where the government could tell us it's not true and we'd believe them.
Yeah, seriously. At this point, if a biblical plague happened, they'd still be like, nothing to see here, guys.
Well, and the people would still say the government did it. Like God himself could come down from heaven and people would say it's a government psyop. That's how bad the trust is.
I mean, to be fair, the government told us that there was aliens, and then all the alien conspiracy theorists went like, wait a minute. Okay, so you guys are saying there are now? Let's step back for a second. Let's check these facts.
Yeah, fact checkers.
I mean, dude, we still have people out there believing in Bigfoot, which God bless them. God bless those people.
One of my favorite headlines of the year is Mark Zuckerberg came out and said he's going to walk back a lot of the censorship on Facebook and Meta. He's going to do away with fact checking. And he said fact checkers led to a lot of
inaccuracies.
Something. It led to a lot of false information. And the headline read, Mark Zuckerberg says fact checkers caused a lot of problems at Meta. Fact checkers determined that's a lie.
There's just one guy on his team, looks over, Mark's just sitting there.
Yeah, so.
It kind of feels like that story when Elon Musk bought X, and then just walked in there, realized like half the office wasn't even there. He was like, you know what? 80% of you can suck a dick. It one being mine.
Yep. So let's go out on talk about movies a little.
Ooh, what you got? Anything good lately?
This one's acting up over here.
Yeah, we had a couple of chats from Anasepai and
I don't know. But Yeah, we're talking about AI innovation, movies, and whatnot, and this is something that's been interesting to me for a couple months. I've been thinking about this. We've got in the past, we've got some creative geniuses: Mozart, Beethoven, and music, things like that. Shakespeare,
Jerry Bruckheimer,
of plays, yeah, Young Thug, Lil Wayne, etc.
Transformers, man.
Got some creative geniuses, but movies are one of those outlets which there's so much startup and there's so much that goes into it. The opportunity to start is extremely high. So, for instance, if you want to direct a movie, make a movie, think about how much raw talent is kept out of the industry because of the threshold to get in being so high. Like if you want to be a great musician, you just buy a microphone, get some beats, like Post Malone. He didn't need a lot to become famous.
No, he just needed something to be real.
But if Post Malone was, say, a genius movie director, how many more hard steps would he have had to go through?
Well, let's see. You can go ahead and be a great director, but now you're going to need a sound guy. You're going to need a lights guy. You're going to need actors that are worth a damn that won't show up strung out.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a super threshold.
It's levels on levels on levels, because even good movies, which I haven't seen like a sit down, have to watch it every second for second in a while, but even those ones can get blacklisted from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
You got one guy that sends a tweet out. Oh, look at that. Well, I guess the whole movie industry is dead on that point.
Yeah. And I'm not a huge fan of movies. Never have been, but I've been talking about this recently. If AI hits a point where an individual can effectively create a movie from scratch that is like theater quality, that's like AAA quality, we're gonna have, I guarantee, some raw talent exposed that we've never seen. Like, we're gonna get to see raw talent in terms of movie creation. Like,
oh yeah, and animation and sound design, really.
Yeah.
Because now we're gonna be able to hit those pure notes. Like, you don't have to worry about somebody coming in weird, because you can do a voice change. Boom, boom, done.
Like, imagine in 5 years, a movie comes out by a dude literally in his basement who just grinded away for like 3 years, like just making this shit.
Oh, there's actually a couple of them that do stuff.
There are some indies.
Yeah, like they're very niche. Like,
very, very niche.
Like Mad God, don't get me wrong. Love the premise of it. Dude worked 20 years on a single stop motion movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bananas. Don't get me wrong. There's no speaking in it. You just got to use context clues and try and figure it out. And it's a horror movie, so it's not for everybody.
So, we got Adlai Studios saying Hollywood is absolutely done, in my opinion. I agree with that.
Well, they keep coming out with those fucking lists, man. Like,
I think Hollywood is effectively done. I think a couple things led to its downfall, but
do you think it was the coke orgies? I think it might have been the coke orgies.
That's part of it. But the main thing that I think killed Hollywood as we know it is going to be the fact that how diluted being a celebrity became. A couple years back,
you had to come out with some bangers after bangers, go on tours, go into movies. Well, you had to.
Yeah, and look, I know the older people will disagree with me here, and they'll be like, well, you're wrong, yada, yada. But listen, a couple years back, and I always had an issue with this growing up, because I could see into the future, and it was, you'd have these influencers like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, whatever, PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, and people would go, these aren't real celebrities. Huh, these are influencers. These aren't real celebrities. And I'm like, they're wrong. In a couple years, these are going to be the celebrities. A couple years from now, these are going to be the celebrities. They're wrong that these influencers aren't. Because there's not going to be any more Tom Cruises. There's not going to be any more DiCaprios. They're gone. That era of that type of celebrity is gone.
Yeah, because nowadays, to become a celebrity, you either have to be a completely deplorable human being or be entertaining in a way that the right group finds you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're just peanuts at that point. That's when people call you an influencer instead of celebrity.
And so the biggest influencers did end up and are becoming the biggest celebrities. And so when everyone has that opportunity now, basically the stranglehold Hollywood had on celebrity status effectively diluted. It flowed out and diversified.
Yeah, and see what's kind of scary and horrifically beautiful at the same time is that they can have controversy after controversy after controversy, and they're just kind of fucking bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Beast a couple of months back, he got like lambasted for having like the wrong friends, people in videos that shouldn't be, the Squid Games knockoff.
Yeah. Well, I do think we needed to get a little more controversy resilient. There's, a time where I think people are losing their positions for far too little.
And I mean, like, I don't think that Jimmy, if I can call him Jimmy, I don't think that he's really a bad guy. I think that he made some bum calls, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a guy named Dallas who can't go back to Dallas, maybe don't have him in your video.
Yeah.
But, like, not everybody that laid a brick to build a library was just a god-honest person.
And so, I forgot the second point. The first point is I think celebrity status became diluted so that they naturally kind of leaked it out and lost it. And the second reason I think Hollywood is dying or is dead, people got so tired of the virtue signaling. Like, nobody wants to hear a celebrity tell them what's good or bad. Nobody.
Look, I only put on my golden pants one leg at a time when I have my servants with me. I'm just like you.
So I've been a higher up at companies before, and I know the privilege that comes with it and the unfairness that comes with it. And I promise you that employees do not want to hear your grievances or your problems or what you think they could do to improve their lives.
Well, see, all you got to do is inherit an emerald mine from your dad. And then, if you can eat quinoa 5 times a day, wake up 6 hours to do your taxes daily.
It's like, Greg, I literally have to scrape together enough money to buy 2 packs of ramen. And my dad just beat me with a bottle of vodka last night. Well, you just don't want it bad enough, is what I'm hearing.
You got to get on that Sigma grind set. There's just so many different levels. Like, people that self-make themselves, good on you. Those who inherit, good on you. But I don't want to hear...
When you're in a better position than somebody, it's much better to help them than it is to lecture them. Infinitely better.
In certain aspects. If your brother has a heroin habit, push that under the rug.
But I just think they virtue signal too much.
Oh, are you kidding? My favorite part of last year, minus the arrest... Melina Kunis? I think I'm saying that right.
Mila Kunis?
Yes, Mila Kunis. Still Mila cute, but her and Ashton Kutcher pulling their support from it was like a rape survivor.
Joe
thing.
Master?
I want to say, yeah.
Well, the guy from 70 Show?
Yeah, basically, like, they pulled the support from him and also several places where they had, been donating for years. I was just like, damn. I mean, I get distancing yourself. Nobody wants to hang out with that person that's like, yeah, I'm friends with him, but he didn't rape me, so...
So we're getting told our audio isn't very stable.
I am so sorry about that. Have we tried jiggling the cord? Give it a little jiggle.
Is it more my audio or more Furman's audio? I'm curious to know which is it both? But yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's mine. I've been off tip all night.
What?
Ooh.
We'll see. Either way, we're probably getting about ready to wrap up.
So if you guys got any more hot topics,
yeah, any more hot topic, thank you guys for tuning in again. It's cutting out like every other second. Oh no.
Give it a little jiggle. Jiggly. Any better? Worse? Medium?
Has it been like this the whole night?
Oh God, I hope not. Oh, it's Skynet coming for us. They heard us talking shit. That's what it is.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's something I can do on the fly. How about now? Is it sounding better now? Testing.
Can we just have one of the peasants come in here and do that for us?
Started about 5 minutes ago. Yep. Skynet got a hold of us.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
See, this is why I told you we need to talk about newspapers instead.
Newspapers are evil and they're lowering your testosterone.
Also, your attention span. I mean, comics, really?
We are commonly attacked by Skynet, okay? Commonly. Because when they hear us, they shut us down.
Seriously. Elon Musk!
But yeah, we are probably about to tune out for the night. We're going to work on upping our defense systems. We're currently in like an iron dome with a little opening, but they're still throwing that counter signal in.
Yeah, seriously. I told you, AOL. We should have used AOL. The episode would have taken 8 days to upload, but safer.
We're working on it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I think we're about to sign off.
Just remember, everybody, stay positive, test negative.
And always be in the light.
Damn! These thick